Good morning, YouTube. So with today's video, I said I was never going to do a most complimented video. I'm sticking to my guns. We're not doing that. So before you go, just please watch, because I'm gonna give you 15 great designer fragrances that never, and I mean ever, get mentioned. You might have 1 to 3 at the most, but this is a very unique list. They're all like designers. You're gonna have some cheapies and you're gonna have some higher end designers, so please stay tuned and watch. I'm gonna have all 4 seasons from winter all the way to autumn, all right? But first one is a very underrated scent from Hugo Boss. This is a fantastic fall and winter fragrance that's very gentlemanly. Hugo Boss bottled saffron oud or oud saffron. This stuff is incredibly good, but it's not original. It smells like other oud fragrances that have been done before. What you're gonna get rose, you're gonna get ladamum, the oud of course, but that's saffron. There's only 4 notes. This again is not original, but why I like this one so much compared to the other oud fragrances is that it feels like it's added saffron. Like, let's say like a recipe, you know, a recipe calls for like a teaspoon, but you do a tablespoon. It feels like it's a tablespoon of saffron instead of a teaspoon. This is super gently, but because of the oud, that resinous or like ambery ladamum, and that's saffron, I feel like it could be a bit of a bad boy fragrance as well. Rose is not exactly a bad boy note without question, okay? I'm not gonna deny that. But I do think it has that edge, but it definitely has that gently quality. Next one, high-end designer that you can get for the low. And I only got this because of Coach Rob, and that's gonna be Carbon's Low Intense. I got my bottle for $29 on fragrancenet.com. Now, I got it on clearance. It's not generally that low, but it's still quite affordable for like 50 bucks. If you like citruses and green herbal mints, this is one that you are going to love. This is spring and summertime. But there's also woods. There's cardamom to warm it up a little bit. There's lavender, and of course ginger. Ginger and mint and citrus, those are like the 3 notes that generally go together. The ginger in this does energize that fragrance, but the mint and the citrus give you that pep to your step. It's fantastic. It's a casual kind of scent, but at the same time, this will go very well with a suit and tie. There's a certain classiness, like a certain elegance to this summer freshie. I've only heard of it because of Coach Rob. Coach got his bottle up here in Canada. I don't know if it was at Square One across the street or if it was downtown Toronto, but regardless, he was happy with his purchase, and because of him, I got mine. Number 3 is going to be Dunhill's Amalfi Citrus. If you love citrus fragrances, this is one that I guarantee that you're gonna love, especially if you like stuff that goes along the route of Tom Ford Neroli Portofino or even Ferrari Bright Neroli. This is gonna cost you about 100 bucks Canadian, so regardless, you're looking at less than $100 USD. With this one here, there's like 5 different citruses. There's Neroli, I believe there's petitgrain, there's jasmine, there's woods, musk, but also rosemary. Just a summer banger, and like this, there's a certain level of classiness or elegance to it. You could wear this with a suit and tie, but you could dress this as bummy as like a tank top with flip-flops and shorts. Just all around, very versatile for the spring, more so summertime. And I almost forgot to state, this fragrance does have a bit of a clean, soapy white floral, like a clean out of the shower. The jasmine and the neroli itself just give off that soapy white floral cleanliness to it. Definitely unisex, even though that it's marketed towards the men out there because it's Dunhill. But ladies, you could rock this absolutely no problem. Next one is not original, but it came out in 2014, but it smells incredibly good. And that's gonna be Valentino Uomo. The reason why that this is not original is that it smells a lot like Dior Homme, in my opinion, including a lot of other people. But it's just a little bit different because with Dior Homme, there's that waxy powdery iris. There's no iris to this. It's not on Fragrantica, my mistake, but also Parfumo.net. But you get that waxy iris to this. But you also get like cedar, there's coffee, there's hazelnut. The hazelnut is definitely there, including the coffee. There's also leather, but I feel like there's like a chocolatey note. I don't know if that would be like the hazelnut and the coffee itself, but there's something chocolatey in this, like cacao. Fantastic. This is like a modern day gentleman's fragrance. Nothing bad boy, nothing uber masculine. This is for someone who likes to dress up, suit and ties, sense of fashion, nothing trendy. It's just something stylish, all right? And I would probably say that it's not metrosexual. I would call it a cosmopolitan kind of gentleman. This is autumn and winter. Next one, latest acquisition in my collection, and I did a review with Rush. Just this video will go up first. But that's going to be Azzaro Pour Homme Nighttime. This stuff is surprisingly really good. Now it does have that typical Pour Homme DNA, you know, that feel. So if you're like familiar with the original, it definitely has that quality. So it does smell a little, I don't want to say dated or like vintage, but there is something a little old school about it. So I'm thinking that someone who's more mature, like age-wise, like 30, even 35 and up would like this one. But you're gonna get citruses. There's that tart and sour earthy rhubarb, which I'm loving. There is cedar, but there's also notes like warm spices of cardamom, but also like pepper. The pepper is a little fresh, but the cardamom, or not the cardamom, the nutmeg, my mistake. The nutmeg is definitely there. It does warm it up, and it does add a little character to it. Old school, but modern. It's fantastic. It's a great daytime fragrance, even though it says nighttime in it. I would say that this is more spring and autumn, and even sometimes maybe winter. Next fragrance, this brand is more known for their jewelry than their fragrances, and that's going to be Cartier L'Envol EdP. A lot of people think that my French pronunciation is very pretentious and kind of like overdone. Well, I gotta state this. If you're new to the channel or you're just one of those idiots out there, I'm French Canadian. We just pronounce things differently. We made the French language, Parisian, which is the correct pronunciation, we just made it our own. We bastardized it and we made it our own. Vive le Québec! But this fragrance here is actually quite nice, and in my opinion, can definitely be unisex. God, I keep forgetting about this. There is definitely citruses. There is musk, there's Gaiaquois, there's Artemisia, but what makes this a unisex fragrance, in my opinion, is going to be that silky, smooth honey. There's honey in this. This is like a classy, playful sort of sweetness, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I just find that for you to wear this, you have to be on your A game, like gentleman-wise, or even ladylike. You know, you can't be a frat boy or a douchebag or even like a playboy to wear this. You gotta be like a gentleman. But like a gentleman who knows when to be on his A game, but knows how to have like a little bit of fun and let down his guard. That's what this is. It's sweet, it's sexy, but it's elegant. You could wear this with a suit and tie. Ladies, you can wear this with a ball gown and you can be shining. This is autumn, winter, and early spring. Next one is probably the oldest one in this list, and that's gonna be Moschino Uomo. This came out in, I don't know, like 96 to 98, so in around there. But this stuff is heavy in coriander, heavy in aldehydes, musk, so it's very aldehydic, aromatic. It's musky without question. It's also powdery, but there's also some cinnamon, some cedar, but also some kumquat to add a really nice citrusy note. This is old school masculine, not like today's masculine where people think like, I'm an alpha male, blah, 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 blah. No. This is for the masculine guy back in the day who was very gentlemanly, but knew how to dress. You know, a lot of the guys back in the day, when I'm talking like back in the day, 40s and 50s, they were masculine, but also a lot of them wore suits and ties. But they knew how to get down. They knew how to defend themselves and throw down. That's what this is. It's old school masculine, but with a gentleman side to it. The spices in this, so like the cinnamon, the coriander, add that masculinity to it. The musk itself adds that masculinity to it. The aldehydes, sure, but it's the powderiness, like the powdery undertone, and it's not overly powdery. It's not like the Valentino, it's on the floor, so I'm not gonna reach for it. It's not like that, okay? This is just more masculine than the Valentino Uomo. but it's not overly formal neither. Yeah, you could dress this with a suit and tie, but I would say like more of a work scent. A lot of the older cats out there, a lot of the older guys are gonna be rocking this just because it's an older fragrance. For me, this is spring and warmer fall, but you can also wear it on a summer night out. Summertime, summer day might be a little bit too much. Next one is gonna be from the brand of Calvin Klein, and this one just never, ever gets any mention. I get it, Calvin Klein has like a huge catalog. But this one came out in 2015, and that's gonna be Euphoria Essence Man. Now this has ivy that does warm it, that greens it up, not warms it up, but you're also gonna get like some leather or some suede. There's guaiac wood, there's amber, there's apparently jasmine, which I don't get, and I think a little bit of citrus. It's a green, woody, ambery scent with like some suede to it. It's like fall, autumn, springtime, like not like cooler spring, not when it's like late May. This might be a little bit too heavy. This is masculine, it is mature, it is gently, but it does have that bad boy edge to it. Next one is going to be from a brand that I find is very luxurious just because it's hard to come by. Like, not their fragrances, like online you can get them, but the shops themselves, their boutiques, I've never come across any in Canada. Bottega Veneta Illusione. So this came out in 2019, and this is uber masculine. So this has bitter orange, and it's got like 4 different types of woods. Whether it's like vetiver, cedar, sandalwood, guaiac wood. This just has a lot of woods with some tonka bean, which I don't get. For me, it's just very woody with some citruses. Perfect for the springtime, the autumn. People said that this is summertime. Maybe for some, but definitely not for me. This is leather jacket and a black tee, or even a white tee, because I don't see this staining your white tee, but all the way to a tuxedo, all right? That's that good. With the next fragrance, unfortunately, this one is discontinued. I got mine for a great price on FragranceNet back in the springtime. Got it for like 70 bucks, but that's gonna be Kenzo Power Cologne. Now, I was looking to get into this brand, which I am. You know, I'm wearing Kenzo Aquamarine, I think it's called. I don't know, but not bad. This, better. But when I first wore this, and I was going off Fragrantica, a lot of people on Fragrantica were saying that this was a summer scent. Maybe for some, but for me this is more spring and autumn, not cold autumn, nor like hot spring, just when the temperature is right. This has a clean, soapy floral to it. In some ways, it reminds me of, oh my lord, I am forgetting. It was a very hated fragrance from, oh my god, what is it? It was super cheap. My Mickers, rest in peace, Dan. Man, this community is not the same without him. He really despised it. Oh man, what is it? Anyhow. This does have that soapy floral vibe to it. This smells a little old school, but I guess it's just nowadays I love it. Maybe like if I were to revisit that fragrance that I'm forgetting, I might enjoy that one. But there, like the floral touch, this one here is gonna be geranium. It feels like there's a little extra floral, but the geranium is front and center. There's also going to be cardamom and coriander, which are definitely there. Lemon verbena, which really pops in the opening. And that lemon verbena stays for like a good duration of the scent life. But the base is like Tolu balsam or something like that with, I forget what other woods. It's like an ambery woody base to it. Very gently, nothing bad boy, nothing manly about this. This is just like suit and tie, I'm polished, I'm prim and proper kind of gentleman. Plain and simple. And because of that floral touch, I just find that in some ways this can be a unisex fragrance. It smells more mature than, it smells for like the more mature gentlemen. I did state prim and proper. This is for like 35 and plus. You have to have particular tastes to really like this one here. But if you can get this for a good price tag, and I'm thinking like $100 or less, and you like clean soapy florals, spices with like an ambery woodiness and that lemon verbena, this is something that you might adore. Let's stick with the brand of Kenzo, and that's gonna be L'Eau 2. This is the flanker to L'Eau par Kenzo, or now known as Kenzo L'Eau. This, it's in the shape of a wave. I don't know if you could see that but if you're looking for an aquatic, this is not it. This is very, very different than the original Leopard Kenzo. Leopard Kenzo, aquatic, it's got some florals. This doesn't. It's got juniper berries. What you're gonna get, you are gonna get some different citruses. You are going to get some lavender, I think some spruce, but also some very energizing ginger. It's actually a really nice understated scent for the spring and summertime. This is more casual than anything, but if you work in an office and you want something that's like inoffensive, this is a good go-to. But for me, this is just like, I'm just running some errands, or I just want something like to smell good, and I'm just looking to relax. That's what this really is. Or if you just want something that might energize you a little bit because of the ginger and that juniper berries, this might be something you want to look into. Next one is going to be a cheapie from the brand of Yope, and that's going to be Homme Wild. Yope Homme Wild. Let's get wild. This has some class to it, but it's got a bit of an edge to it. It's a little mysterious. It's definitely sexy. You are going to get some white tobacco, which, whatever that is, it's like a white floral. I don't get that. I get rum, I get sandalwood or some sort of wood, along with some pink pepper or cinnamon. It is boozy, woody, spicy, and maybe on some people you're gonna get that floral. I don't. But it's just sexy, it's edgy, with a little bit of class to it. You could wear this with a suit and tie, and I know, Yope, it's more like for the young guys out there, and they're more like fun fragrances. But this does have a little bit of class. You could wear this with a suit and tie, no problem. And this is more for the autumn and winter time. We're down to the last 3 fragrances in this list, and they are all classy and they're all affordable. But you know, the last one will probably be the most expensive one in this list. But number lucky 13 is going to be Dunhill's Mongolian Cashmere. This is for people with an acquired taste. If you like powdery, musky fragrances, this is one that you might want to look into. When I'm thinking of Mongolia, you know, or just picturing it, I'm not really picturing like musky and powdery. You know, like Genghis Khan is what comes to mind for so many of us when we think of Mongolia. It's just, it's not like uber masculine at all. It's a very gently fragrance that does have geranium and rose. So you're definitely gonna get those 2 notes. You are gonna get some orris that add that powdery nuance. Musk, of course. Some pink pepper, suede, a little bit there, but also amber. It's musky, powdery, with some suede, and a little bit of florals and amber towards the base. Very, very gently, and in my opinion, this as well can be a unisex fragrance. This is more spring, fall, but also winter. Number 14. When I smelled this over a decade ago, and it came out in 2011, I wasn't really feeling it. I did a cringy ass video on Alcatraz in San Francisco so many years ago, and I did a retake of this one with Glenn from Mr. Cologne 76. Hugo Boss Wool Musk. This is a very basic fragrance. You're gonna get cinnamon, sandalwood, and of course, musk. It's warm, it's musky, it's woody, spicy, but as well, powdery. It's not overly powdery, but it is there. And in some ways, they kind of resemble a little bit. This one just has more going on, but I really enjoy this one because of that muskiness, that powdery touch, but also with the woods. The wood, like the spicy woods. Very, very gently. And there's a certain, I don't want to say it's like there's a certain edge to this one, but I do think that like a gentleman who does have a bit of a bad boy side to him can wear this. Picture Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is a billionaire. He knows how to work the charm. He's a gentleman. Yeah, he's a playboy, but when he turns into Batman, he's got that edge. See, I'm using something else besides the Kingsman. Trying to be a little bit more creative here, guys. But that's what this is. This is fall or autumn, winter, and early spring. And last but not least, because I love my freshies, let's go with this one here. However, I'm all about the affordability, but this is gonna be the most expensive one. This was a gift from my wife. Under the Lemon Tree from Maison Martin Margiela. this, if you love like authentic lemon fragrances, this is one that you're gonna like. But here's the kicker, the caveat, as Drac Duck would say. There's no lemon note to it. It's not on Fragrantica, it's not on Parfumo. Maybe it's on the official website of Maison Martin Margiela. I don't know, but you do get that lemon feel. It's a little tart, it's energizing, it's bitter, it's sour, but it's there. That note, however, is gonna be lime. I don't get lime at all. I get lemon. But there's also green tea and mate to green it up. There's also some coriander, some petitgrain, but I also feel like there's musk to it as well with some sort of woods. This is really nice. And it's a citrus fragrance that has a little bit of elegance to it. You could wear this balmy if you want to, but this will shine very well with a sense of style, and you could wear this as well with a suit and tie. It's fantastic for the spring and summertime. This is just so energizing and will definitely leave that pep to your step. And guys, that's it. That is my most complimented fragrance video for 2023. Again, if you have made it through this entire video, I apologize for clickbaiting you. I don't talk about compliments because I don't get compliments. You know, I probably get maybe 5 compliments in a year. And that's generally from my wife or from my in-laws or even like my dad. I don't get a lot of unsolicited compliments from people. But those types of videos is what feeds the algorithms, and I refuse to do that. But with me, there is a little bit of clickbait. So again, I apologize for that, but if you like this very video and this very unique list, please leave me one of these. If you want to see videos on these, and I've talked about pretty much, actually no, I have reviewed all of these, but there's a few that are not, that I'm still working on, like editing wise, such as this one here. They will all be down in the description box below, just in case you want to check those out. And because this is a list, why don't you check out right here. I thank you for my time, take care, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody.